back to my kitchen. You guys, I am preheating my oven to 325 degrees because that's what we're baking this cake on today. We are making a Shirley Temple pound cake, you guys. So I'm going to start with my 3 cups of Swan's Down cake flour as usual. I've already added ½ teaspoon of baking powder to my 3 cups. I sifted it one more time. You guys already know Swan's Down comes pre-sifted for you in the box. So when you grab it off the shelf at the store, it's already pre-sifted. But once I add that baking powder, I like to sift it one more time. So here I have my 3 cups Swan's Down cake flour and ½ teaspoon of baking powder. We will also be using 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to add that in the beginning with my extracts. We have 3 cups of sugar. I have 3 sticks of unsalted butter, and it is room temperature. I will be using 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. 1/4 cup heavy whipping cream. Then we have 5 large eggs that are also room temperature, and they've already been cracked, as you can see. We have this 1 10-ounce jar of maraschino cherries. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, this is what we're using. And I'm going to save some of the juice off of this. I'm actually going to drain these cherries. I'm going to reserve a few for the top to garnish at the end. And then the other ones, I'm going to probably cut them up in 4ths and get them really dry and toss them in some flour before I fold them in, okay? I'm also going to reserve about maybe ½ cup of this juice or a little less. I'm going to make a syrup to go over the top of my Shirley Temple pound cake. I know some people just take the straight juice and pour it over the top. You guys, I don't like a soggy cake, and that, in my opinion, is going to make it really, really wet, and I don't want a wet cake. So I'm going to make me a simple syrup, and I'm going to have to let it cool, and it's going to thicken up, and then I'm going to drizzle that over the top of the cake once it's done baking, okay? So our cherries. And then of course we have to have some 7-Up. I have my cherry 7-Up that I will be using today. And I'm also going to keep it simple, so I'm going to use some lime extract and lemon extract. Now you can always zest use some lime and lemon, but we're keeping it simple today. Again, by all means, you can zest you some lime and lemon to add it to your cake batter, but we're not going to do all that today. And I'm going to add maybe about 1 teaspoon of each. Let me see, is that everything? Oh, of course not. And of course, I'm going to add just a little dab of my cream bouquet. You guys, I love this stuff. I'm oftentimes asked, what does it taste like? Bakery in a bottle. It just enhances your cake flavor. In my opinion, I really, really, really love this. And you don't need a whole lot. Oftentimes, I may use a ½ teaspoon or a teaspoon because it's quite potent in my opinion. So you don't really need a whole bunch. All right. While I'm thinking about it too, a subscriber, I've been asked several times, where did I get my little measuring cups? I've had these for years. I got them from Pampered Chef. So these were from Pampered Chef, and I've probably had them since about 2008 or 9. It's been a long time. And this right here is a cup that I grew up with. A little girl, my mom used to use this cup. I know so many of you all have this same measuring cup. Okay, Of course, I've thoroughly washed my hands. Y'all don't be in the kitchen with nasty hands. Let's get this cake mixed up. If by chance I have forgotten something, the ingredients are always in the description box below the video. So you'll have to scroll down to see the description box. If you're using a phone device, I think you have to click on something at the end of the title to kind of open up that window a little bit more so you can get those ingredients. All right, so let's start getting this cake mixed up. I'm gonna start by adding my 3 sticks of unsalted butter to my mixing bowl. And you guys, I am using my my whisk attachment, if you will, or the wired attachment. It's just because I want to use it today. That's the only reason, as opposed to my flat beater. Just wanted to use this one today because I know some of you will probably ask, Miss Donna, why are you using that beater? I try to anticipate as much as possible some of your questions so I can get them answered for you, just in case I don't get them answered in the comment section, because they are so many these days. All right, I'm going to go and add my 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm also adding my extracts, my lemon and my lime extracts, and I do this in the beginning because it allows all of my extracts to be incorporated throughout the entire mixing process. A sweet cake lady gave me that tip. She does pound cakes. That's her business. So I figure she knows what she's talking about. So that's why I do that. I know a lot of you guys still do it, like when you add your liquids, and that's fine as well, but that's the only reason I started adding them in the beginning. Okay, a little bit of cream bouquet. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the mixer on, and we're going to mix up this butter, extracts, and salt for just a few minutes to get it mixed up. And then I'm going to start slowly adding my 3 cups of sugar. We're going to cream this on high. We're going to cream this butter and sugar on high. With this mixer, I usually cream on between 8 and 9. You guys, this is a very, very important part of mixing up your cake. You can't rush this, all right? I usually cream for about 10 to 12 minutes. I do set me a timer. I set the timer. It starts once all of the sugar has been added. Then I set my timer. If you do not properly cream, it can affect the outcome of your cake. It can be heavy, it can be dense, it can be gummy and have those streaks in them. And some of you, I know you're probably saying, Miss Donna, you say that all the time. And I do, but you have to remember that for some people, it is the first time that they've ever clicked on one of my videos. So I have to act like it's everybody's first time watching. And I want to make sure that I'm being as clear as possible, because I really want you all's cakes to turn out phenomenal, okay? So you can't rush this process. Then you'll notice as you're creaming that the butter and sugar, some of it is going to start collecting on the sides of your bowl. You need to stop your mixer and scrape down your bowl. I usually do that at least twice because this mixer does not have the scraping attachment like my other one. But I will start using my new mixer with the scraper. I ended up snagging me another one probably early spring, and I've just not used it yet, but I think I'll pull it out maybe the holiday season, really going into fall maybe. All right, so scrape down the sides of your bowl. Stop it at least twice. I think that's it. Again, don't rush it. And then once we get creamed, you guys, I'm going to actually stop the mixer, and I'm going to let you see exactly what I mean when I said creaming it. It should be light and fluffy. You don't want to hear sugar crystals mixing around in the bottom of your bowl, okay? So take your time, walk away, and do something else. Like now, I'm getting ready to open up these cherries so they can get drained and be ready. So I'm going to use my time wisely while we are creaming. All right, it has been 12 minutes later, and we are light and fluffy. And that's exactly what we should be looking like, okay? So again, don't rush this process. And you guys, while I was creaming my butter and sugar, I drained my cherries, and I didn't want a whole cherry inside the cake, so I cut them up in little small pieces. So you can just cut them to your desired size or not cut them at all. It just depends on what you want. I'm not a big cherry eater. I like the fresh cherry, so I just didn't want the whole cherry. I didn't want the humps to be too big. I only reserved just a few for the top as well, because again, I don't want a whole lot of big cherries on the top. All right, so again, that's what I love about baking, is that you can do whatever you like to do in some cases. Now, you have to have the correct measurements, but you know, when it comes to specifics about how much flavor you like, you know, how do you like whatever additives that you're adding to the cake, if you want them large, small, you can do whatever you like, okay? So now we're going to turn the mixer back on. And you guys, I almost forgot, I've got my juice over here in this pot. Let me move it until I get started again, because I need to add ½ cup of sugar to that, okay? So now we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time. And when you add them, they don't have to be, you'll see that yolk will break up. I only mix each egg maybe about 8 seconds or so. Again, you'll see that yolk mix up, and I don't necessarily always wait for it to totally disappear, but again, just make sure that yolk breaks up. It only takes a few seconds in between eggs. Sometimes you will notice, or sometimes what will happen is 2 eggs may jump in. It's okay, no worries. Just mix a few seconds longer, because now you're trying to incorporate 2 eggs as opposed to 1. Then once we get our eggs mixed in, you're going to notice I'm going to turn my mixer down. I'm going to turn this mixer down to at least the number 2, and then we'll start incorporating our dry and our wet ingredients. So you'll see me start with the flour, and you'll see me end with the flour. And I'm going to start alternating. I'm going to add a little bit of flour, and then I'll add that heavy whipping cream, and then I'll go back and add more flour, and then finish alternating with this soda. Okay? You always want to start with flour and end with flour. So you start with your dry and you end with your dry ingredients, all right? So I'll add a little bit of flour, and then you're going to see me add this heavy whipping cream, and then I'm going to go back and add flour, and then I'll start alternating with the 7-Up. Now this process does not take long at all. It doesn't take nearly as long as it did creaming the butter and sugar. This only takes a couple of minutes, okay? You do not want to overmix, because if you overmix during this process, you can have the same results. It can make your cake fall, it can make it tough, it can make it gummy, it can make it streaky. We don't want any of that. So again, this does not take long at all. And once I get through mixing, I'm gonna fold in my cherries. I am gonna add, let me do that right now while I'm thinking about it, add just a little bit of flour. And I'm taking some of my flour mixture that I have mixed up, and I'm just gonna toss these cherries inside this flour. And I wanted to add it now, because I get to add in flour and then realize, I didn't set any aside to toss my cherries in. Okay, so I think that's it. So we're going to add eggs, and then we'll start alternating the flour and the liquid, and we're going to end with flour, and then it'll be time to bake this cake. My oven is already ready. All right. Y'all, I be trying to catch that batter before it falls off that beater. Okay, we're gonna mix just a little bit more. Make sure we have everything thoroughly mixed in. And here are my cherries that I've tossed in the flour. So we're just gonna fold those in as well. And you could probably do more than one jar of the cherries if you like. Okay, I've thoroughly sprayed my cake pan with Baker's Joy. The oven is ready. And we are pouring. So I would suggest if you want to see a whole, I was going to say if you want it real cherry-y. Listen. Oh my goodness, if you want a lot of cherries, then you can certainly get another jar and then add more cherries, okay? I'm not a big cherry eater like that, so one definitely suffices for me. And I'm sure for us, but yeah. But if you want some more cherries, by all means, get you another jar. Just make sure that they're really that you've really dried them out, okay? Now we're gonna shake, 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 shake. Okay, we're going in 325 degrees. I'm gonna set my timer for an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm sure I will be smelling it by that time. If I need more time, I'll add it. I'm probably going to check it before an hour and 15 minutes. But you guys, I never open my oven before that 1 hour mark. That's something else that can make your cake fall. So if you're baking a cake, I never open my oven door before that first hour. Okay? And like I said, then I'll check it. And if I need some more time, I'll add it. If not, then we'll take it out. Okay, the cake is still baking, but this is my ½ cup of the cherry juice, and here I have ½ cup of sugar, and we're just gonna add it to the juice. We're gonna stir it to make sure all of the sugar gets dissolved, and just as it starts boiling, I'm gonna turn it off and let it sit and totally cool, and then it'll thicken up and it'll be like a syrup. So once this starts boiling, I'll turn it off and let it totally cool. So that syrup should be ready by the time the cake totally cools, okay? Speaking of cake, we have been baking. We've been baking for an hour and 25 minutes. So this one took a little bit longer. Okay. So now we'll sit here and cool for 10 minutes before we flip it. And while we are cooling, I'm going to make a glaze really quick. I always do this by hand. I never use a mixer. So I'm going to make I kind of want a double glaze, so I'm going to do, this is cream cheese. Cream cheese, and I'm going to use just a little bit of it. Not even quite an ounce, so just a little bit. It's going to give the glaze a little bit more oomph, if you will. It'll make the glaze not quite as dry. Does that make sense? I think when you just do powdered sugar, and I do that sometimes when you just do the powdered sugar and milk, to me it's a little drier. Well, not a little, it's drier than when you add like the cream cheese or do the butter, okay? So I like to mix the cream cheese up just a little bit. And you guys, I never measure. So like I said, that wasn't even quite an ounce, I don't think. But if you're needing measurements as it pertains to doing a glaze, start with like 2 cups. Well, I'm a glaze girl, so I like a lot of glaze. You may not like it as much as I do. And I like it thick for the most part. So you can do 2 cups of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of milk to start off with, if you'd like, for those of you that kind of need some measurements. And don't add the milk too fast. If you add too much at one time, it'll make it too loose, and then you have to add more powdered sugar to thicken it back up. And I like to do it in the beginning, have it really thick, because it's easier to get it smooth, okay? So I'm going to pour a little bit of milk. What else I want? I'm going to do a little bit of this cream bouquet. Okay, we're just going to stir it. Start out slow so I won't sling powdered sugar everywhere, because I'm known for that. And I can already tell that I'm going to need more milk because it is thick. But again, that's how I like it in the beginning, because it helps me get it smooth. And just that, you know, it's smooth already just that quick, okay? But it is too thick. Look at that. So I'm going to add just a little bit more milk to thin it out. And you guys, I'm going to do a layer of just this glaze, the white glaze first, and then I'm going to do another layer. Okay, see, just that quick, you guys. We have a glaze, so it's ready. All right, so I'm going to use this first, do the first layer of glaze, and then I'm going to add a little bit of this cherry flavored essence. I received this months ago from a subscriber. So since I've never used it before, I didn't want to just put it in my cake. So I'm going to use a little bit in my second layer of the glaze, and it's going to give it just a hue of color. Okay, with this red, it doesn't have any alcohol in it. And when I open it, it is so cherry. So cherry flavored, so cherry smelling. So like I said, I'm going to add a little bit of that once I do my top layer of glaze, and then I'll add that, okay? So in the meantime, we're going to cool for a few more minutes, and then it'll be time to flip the cake. All right, it's been 10 minutes. We are flipping. Let's see. Had a couple of little pieces that stuck. So let me get them out first. And stick them back on. Okie dokie. I don't even think you can really tell too much where it's stuck, and then once I glaze it, you're not gonna see it. See, you guys, you see the little cherries? Can you see the cherries? Okay. All right, so we're gonna keep cooling. Let me show you what the pan looked like. So that's what we look like. Okay, y'all like this part too. Be a little chewy. Okay. So we'll continue to cool. And then glaze it in a little bit. In the meantime, my syrup is cooling. Y'all look. Now see, I'm gonna have to heat this up probably. Maybe, maybe not. Look how thick this is getting. It looked like ooh, girl. It reminds me, I'm trying to show y'all without dumping this out. See how thick that is. Can y'all see that? That's gonna be so much better than just pouring juice over the cake to make it soggy. Okay. So, and if by chance, when I get ready to glaze it, if that's too thick, I'll just turn the heat back on just for a few minutes to get it warm, barely warm, and melt it down again, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so we're starting to glaze, but I'm gonna start with my syrup, and I did still want it just a little bit warm as I pour it on the cake. Okay. Now we're doing a layer of our heavier glaze. Now we're going to take some of our cherry essence. We're going to add, make sure I shake it up good. Add just a little bit to, oh, it comes out in little drops, okay. To the glaze. Oh, it smells so good. And now we're just gonna finish glazing. Now to add the cherries on top. Oh, and I almost forgot, just a little bit more syrup. Shirley Temple pound cake with a thick cream cheese glaze and cherry syrup on top with cherries. It is time. It is time. It is time. Oh, it is.
Well, give me a cherry.
Take it, because you know I don't eat cherries like that. You guys, I'm the girl that when I go to Chick-fil-A and get the milkshake, hold the cherry. I don't want a cherry.
Hold the cherry.
Hold the cherry, please, peoples. Hold the cherry.
I touched the cherry with my nasty hands, but I only touched the cherry that I had. I ain't touched nothing else. My hands was clean, but I'm just saying I just came in.
You had just washed them, didn't you?
I know, but I just came into the kitchen.
Well, you had just washed them, sir.
I know, but I'm just saying you're supposed to wash your hands anytime you come in the kitchen.
But no, technically, what you're supposed to do, if you're not cooking, you wash them before you get in here, and that's what you did.
Well, okay, but then again, you gotta wash them when you come in the kitchen.
Okay, baby.
Oh, whatever, Donna, I can.
Okay, baby.
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing?
As long as you wash your nasty hands, that's all that matters.
How y'all doing?
Baby, it's cutting your head off.
I'm tall. You gotta get a taller camera. A taller camera. I'm just too tall. Look at the camera.
Is that better?
Hey, everybody, how y'all doing? How y'all guys y'all day been? My day has been. Oh, let me try it. What's the name of this one? Let me guess.
Me.
It's cherry.
You tell me. Y'all, I tasted cherry flavor.
Well,
You getting a knife? I mean, not a knife, a fork. Now you got me looking all.
I'm trying to find one. Well, I don't know. I got.
Baby, it's forks in the dishwasher.
No, I see a bunch of spoons.
It has to be forks in there, baby.
Well, baby, I don't know where the forks don't. They hiding from me. I see. Oh, here go the forks. All of them right there together. Oh, what have we got here, babe? Let me taste it.
Let me see. Let me taste it.
You always get. I don't know why you keep going always to
Why
that
you have
end.
to do like this?
I'm just saying, Donna, it's all the energy that just get.
Well, I don't want that one because that's where all the cherries are. Here, you eat that.
Oh, cherries in there?
Why you act like you stabbing it? You taste the cherry, and you tasting something chewing. Yeah, you taste something. I'm gonna tell you what the chewy is in a minute.
I'm chewing. Oh, cherry. Okay, I got cherry.
You got cherry. What you got? Wait a minute. Let me get the little crumbs up. I taste cherry, you guys.
What am I chewing?
Let me see. I'm gonna show you guys. Wait a minute, y'all. Let me see. I don't want none of the cherries. I'm gonna tell you.
What you got? I taste the cherries.
That's cherry tuna. I thought it was gonna be the This is Shirley Temple pound cake. Y'all, that lemon and lime is so good.
Like Shirley Temple, like
when you like to get the
lollipop.
Is that Shirley Temple? I don't know. You know how you get the drink with the is it like a cherry drink?
This an app, girl. I don't drink.
There's no alcohol in it.
Oh.
But when you do the Shirley Temple, is it Sprite and cherry drink or
I don't know
something?
nothing about Shirley Temple. You?
Oh, listen, babe, you gonna move over to the side? Babe, don't get off the camera.
Okay.
He's steady eating.
This is.
You taste the cherries. And y'all, even though I cut them cherries down,
I'm tasting them.
but y'all, you taste it right at the top. Y'all, now that part is good. Look right there up under the top right there where the
What's drizzling down like a cherry is looking?
Look, I was gonna say cherry syrup. The cherry syrup is right up under that layer. Let me see.
The cherry what?
The cherry syrup is right there. Y'all see that right up.
The cherry what?
Cherry syrup.
Syrup.
Cherry syrup, and then the cherries. So that's what's Now that's good.
It's good. It is.
Can you taste that lemon lime? It has lemon and lime in it.
It has good and berry in it.
That is good.
It's very good.
And I didn't want a whole lot of cherries on the top. That's why I just did just those little few, because I don't like cherries like that. That's good, y'all.
I love this crust that's kind of chewy, that kind of...
Well, because what's happening is you have the crumb, yeah, the outside of it has kind of like that cookie crumb taste, and then I have two layers of glaze on it. So the first one is the white one, and then I added some cherry essence to the rest of the glaze, and then poured another glaze on.
You know what? It's moist.
And you can, can't you smell them cherries? It's so...
It's fluffy.
It's cherry.
What am I trying to...
It's fluffy. Well, it's fluffy. It's moist.
Yeah, of course it's more. Don't why you eating?
Y'all, that's good.
There's nothing worse than when you get to that last piece. And I was looking at the crust. You know what, Dominic? You went through a whole lot to make the cake. So...
I don't like where this camera looking. Thank you. Indeed. Indeed. That's how it's supposed to go.
So this was good, guys. This really was good.
I tell you, that 7-Up is the truth. And then I didn't do zest this time. I just did some lemon and lime.
That's what that is.
Extra.
7-Up.
Right there. Cherry 7-Up. See, y'all be trying to move stuff out of the way so he won't pay any attention. No, the cake is cherry 7-Up.
This is good.
Isn't
You know what?
good?
This one of these pound cakes that there are some pound cakes you can just, you want to eat them alone. Just a piece of pound cake, you just enjoy that. But this, I mean, this is one of those ones that beg for ice cream. It really does, man.
You always want some ice cream.
Don't always want ice cream. Don't say that to the people. They'll think all I want is like. So I'm just
I
saying.
won't say it anymore.
Thank you. So I'm just saying, but this is the one that this kind begs for ice. Don't know what you looking and laughing at. What y'all talking about? I don't eat ice cream all the time. People, I don't know what's wrong with these people. Y'all don't change. Y'all different.
Why they different, babe?
But I'm just saying, baby, y'all don't eat ice cream all the time. You mislead them.
It's just when you oftentimes
Oftentimes
when I do a cake, he always talk about some ice cream.
No, I didn't. Don't got some cake. I just said you eat it by yourself.
Okay, babe.
You know what?
Okay.
You know what? What I'm gonna do is, hey guys, that is good.
We keep getting a request.
What's the
for
request?
you to bake a cake.
Ooh, boy, let me
By
tell you something.
yourself.
I would bake a cake, and let me tell you something.
You bake a cake.
Y'all would.
You got to bake a box cake, honey.
Y'all would desire.
Ingredients cost too much for you to be messing up my
Don't
cake with all this
You
butter.
don't believe in me, Donna. Let me do it. I can follow any recipe I want.
Somebody said you have to do it, and I can't help you.
I don't need your help, Donna. You act like I was born before you.
Spraying me. What you mean?
I had to do things
on my nose.
Who spit on your nose?
You did.
Oh, you're misleading a lot of people. A lot of times.
It's all right.
It's okay.
You kissed me. Okay, you got no. I said I'm saying it's okay because
guys, I can do this.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all believe in me. I believe in me. So let's do this together. I'm gonna make a cake. What are you telling the people? What you telling the people?
I'm just smiling with you.
Y'all, I believe in me. Do y'all believe in me? Y'all believe in me? I believe in me. So let's make a cake. Let's make a cake, y'all. I can do it.
Y'all wanted to make a cake.
That's right. Watch me. Watch me. I know how to, and you can see me from beginning to end, so you will know that it's me. I'm nothing to play with, people. I'm nothing to play with.
Can we practice with a box cake first?
No box cake, no. That's for people that don't, for amateurs. I was born.
Listen, we had to let the family go. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
I was doing things before you was
If
born.
you've not subscribed,
hit the nosy. Hit the nosy.
Please consider doing so and turning on that notification bell. That's hitting the nosy. Why are you playing with my elbow? Why are you playing with my elbow?
I'm just saying, Tony. How y'all doing?
Yeah, subscribe. At least think about it. That way you'll know whenever we over here, you playing with my elbow.
I promise you guys this one thing. When I make this, I'm gonna tell you this. Look, all y'all, I'm gonna be. Why you holding my arm?
Come on now, we had to let the people go. Listen.
They ain't gotta stay, y'all.
Bye. Thank you guys. Thank you. We appreciate y'all so much. Thank you because you're tickling my elbow. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stop tickling me. We already look forward to you joining us again next time. Would you quit?
Wait, bye.
You have my arm.
You got my arm. Turn mine loose.
Okay. Bye, y'all. What is wrong with you?
I'm just saying, Donna, I miss you. I've been working all day. I just want to see you, man. I'm gonna make a cake for everybody. Y'all believe in me? I believe in me. Believe in me, guys.
Won't be wasting my ingredients.
I ain't gonna waste no ingredients. I'm gonna be in this time, guys. Hit the nosy.